Hey everyone, in today's video let's talk about how to stay in control of a relationship with a narcissist. And this can be at any stage of your relationship with a narcissist, whether you're still in it and hopefully looking to leave the relationship, or you've already left and they are hoovering you and trying to get back into your life and trying to get control of you over again. And I guess the important thing to realize about these relationships is that it is based off of control and how they can control you because they have needs that need to be met. You are their supply to meet their needs, and they are going to do whatever it takes as a survival instinct in order to meet their needs, using you as the fuel that they are going to feed off the whole time. So in order to stop and prevent you from suffering through this process that is going to happen if they keep feeding off of your energy and your life in order to fulfill their needs, we need to protect ourselves from these type of people so that we can live our happiest, healthiest lives. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into this video. Real quick, I just want to say thank you for everybody that's been signing up and supporting the Patreon. As you know, I want to do this full time for you guys, and also I want to take this channel now to 10,000 subscribers. This can be the next milestone goal. So if you like the content by the end of this video, hopefully you can hit subscribe and maybe you'll support the Patreon as well. Okay, let's go ahead and move into the content. So how to protect yourself in these relationships and how to stay in control. And here's what's important to realize about these types of relationships is that actually you already are in control. What needs to happen is that you actually must not lose control when you are in a homeostasis state. When you're in a calm, relaxed state, you are in control of yourself, you are self-possessed, you're in your energy, and you have stepped into your power. You're controlling your mind and your emotions, and you are guiding yourself in your life in the directions that you like to go. Now, you must stay in control, and the way that you would lose control is actually when you separate yourself as a person from the core that you are, and you step into a emotional state that is exaggerated. It is too intense or sad, or it can also even be overly happy when you're going through the love bombing stages, and when you're experiencing the extremes of emotions that a narcissist will put you through. That is when you have lost your control, that you are already in the relationship and you have given it up to them, because it's at this point when you're in an extreme emotional state that they can take the most advantage of you. And the way that they are going to do this is, one, they're either going to trigger you and they're going to cause you to step into a negative emotional state, whatever extreme that is. It could be an extreme of sadness, of despondency, of anger, whatever it is, where you start to go into this negative feedback loop with them. And also, if they're love bombing you and they're trying to make you feel like the best you've ever felt ever, then they are going to put you in the opposite spectrum. And in that case, you may also again lose the power that you're in that relationship, because you may again start to fall for those love bonding chemicals that are flooding your brain and causing you to become addicted to this emotional, intense roller coaster that you're going through with this person, the ups and the downs. So you must protect yourself at all times by protecting yourself from those two extreme emotions. Now, there's a couple of ways to protect ourselves from those extreme emotional states. And the very first one is going to be awareness. The ability to be aware of our actions and the other person's actions and our emotions is going to be the number one key in order to maintain calmness of your emotions and maintain control that you have over yourself. And by controlling yourself, you can control the outcome of the relationship. As you are controlling your emotions, you must recognize what triggers you. As you step into these situations, they've already figured you out. They've spent enough time with you. They've gotten to know what buttons they can push inside of you. They've gotten to know who you are, the ins and outs of you, and they can step on your buttons in a flash. They know how to love bomb you, and they know how to devalue you and send you down into that negative spiral. So you must recognize what triggers you, because then you will know what they are going to try to take advantage of the next time that they see you. By controlling your emotions and recognizing what those triggers are, you will recognize when those buttons are being pushed and before they are being pushed. If you can sense that this person is starting to attempt to press those buttons, you can stop the behavior or the communication with the person right then and there and stop them from triggering you in any of the positive or negative emotional extremes that they want you to fall trap to. And by doing this and by maintaining awareness, you can start to prevent the problem. The next issue you might run into is sometimes these emotional responses can be so quick that they can say one thing and the response has been triggered. You've already gone through the triggering process. Now you are going to be in a situation where you must do essentially kind of damage control. And the way that you do damage control after your emotion has already been triggered is again going to be through training your awareness, by staying aware of what this trigger has done before you step into a reactive state where you are reacting to what is going on around you in this trigger that has been placed into your life. You can actually choose to respond. And the difference between responding to something and reacting to something is that responding requires thinking before it happens. Reaction requires no thinking. It is a state of instinct. And that instinct is good. However, in this specific case, it is actually working against you. So by choosing to take a moment to think and collect yourself before you respond, you are going to again be able to maintain power by avoiding these emotional extremes. Now, if you're in the situation where you have already been triggered and you're experiencing an emotional extreme, if you're with this person, you should be able to find a way to step away or just maintain your coolness, your calmness, and your collectedness until you can step away from that situation. And the next thing that I want you to do is actually remember why you were triggered by a specific thing. And this is time when you are alone by yourself. This is what the next thing that we're going to do. This is going to be step 2 of being able to stay in control of the relationship, and we're going to be trying to prevent the issue from happening ever again. The way that this can happen is by taking the time to understand why you were triggered and why that trigger actually works. See, because what they understand is that that trigger is going to work for you, and if you can understand for yourself why a trigger works, what you're actually going to be doing is, instead of pushing that emotion away and stepping away from it and ignoring it and suppressing it, what I want you to actually do is spend time with that emotion and that trigger. By spending time reliving the experience that caused you to feel that trigger and taking some time to self-reflect what button was pressed inside of you, you can actually take more time to understand yourself. And if you stay present with that emotion, you have to recognize that these triggers, really what they're presenting an opportunity for you to do is to actually grow as a person. Because what this trigger really means is that there's something inside of you that needs a little bit of attention, that needs a little bit of love and affection from you. And if you ignore it, you're not going to be able to learn the positive lesson that this wound is carrying inside of you. I remember one time, multiple times I guess you could say, there's even one video on this channel where, especially being on the internet, it's so funny because, you know, I'll put out some of these videos and somebody will comment, a total stranger that I don't know, doesn't know me, and maybe just didn't like one of my videos for whatever reason. They'll comment something negative, or somebody, a total stranger, will say something negative in life that doesn't even make sense. And if I have caught myself getting hurt by whatever thing is said or whatever is going on, I've noticed myself getting triggered by this thing, and I used to try to ignore it and just, you know, pretend like it didn't exist. But the more I realized that I started to take the time to understand what went on within me, is a process that probably takes me about, 30 minutes to an hour, or right around that time frame to do, by really sitting the emotion and letting time giving myself time to be with that emotion. By spending that time with the emotion, I'm able to understand what maybe I'm feeling insecure about, what pain I've gone through previously that I'm trying to avoid. What is it that I'm trying to do by not looking at this emotion that's been triggered inside of me? And the more time that I spend with it, the more time that I've spent learning from it, the more I take the silver lining from the lesson that I've been able to learn from the emotion that's being brought up inside of me. And I can tell you as a fact that every single time that I've done this, it's actually been a really refreshing and healing experience for me. It's actually one of the things that allowed me to be able to stay awake from my ex-girlfriend when me and her broke up, and I was going through the breakup process of leaving a covert narcissist and a covert passive-aggressive narcissist. And by taking time to do that, I've been actually able to heal a lot more of the wounds that have been inside of me. And the more that I heal, the less tempted I ever am to step into that relationship. And the more I look at it actually with gratitude, because it gave me an opportunity to grow, and more that it puts like a fire in my belly to keep being healthy in my life and make different life decisions and move my life in the direction that I want it to go. And all of these things happen not by ignoring the emotion and the triggers that I've gone through, but by actually taking the time to understand, why does that trigger me? What is going on inside of me that causes me to lose control of the previous emotional state that I was in? And by taking the time to go through this process and these exercises inside of yourself, you're actually going to be able to maintain control of yourself, maintain control of the relationship you've experienced with the narcissist, and you can lead your life more fully and carefully going forward. And it's also an incredible personal growth experience that you get to go through in the process of doing that. And really, all of it leads to growth. And all these, a lot of terrible experiences that a lot of the people that listen to this channel have gone on, also a lot of it can lead to a lot of incredible personal growth for you if we take the positive lessons that we have learned from these terrible experiences we've gone through. All of it serves to help you and the people in your life in one way or another. And it's just understanding how these positive lessons can come out of something that's so negative that's happened to everybody here that's been on this channel and learned about this type of stuff. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this type of content and you want to help me as a creator, please go sign up for the Patreon down below. I'll also send you a free wristband for signing up. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.